you.
You bring a lot of humor to your work. I think there's
Yes.
a lot of joy in your painting.
Yes, I do, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy painting. Simply, it's therapeutic. It
Yeah.
brings a lot of humor
Yeah.
in my life, and it's great, especially when you're not working any longer. You have all the time, you know.
Wow. It's great to do something that is fulfilling and also that really enriches your life and everybody else who looks at them.
Yes, yeah.
This is one of my absolute favorites, and it's so interesting because a lot of your work has a really whimsical feel to it, like a very playful quality. And this area of Victoria is probably the most playful, you know, in terms of style of home, lifestyle. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've known people who live on these houseboats,
No.
but it's a unique, you know, blend of people who live down there. It's quite wonderful. And there's a winter community as well as a summer community there. So a lot of the homes, they're float homes, and in the winter months, a lot of them become available for, you know, rent or sublet, basically. And it's an interesting lifestyle because pretty well everybody is on bicycle, and so they have a different layout for the city. But what I find most exciting about this is the quality of light. Like there's this band of just like really like the light's pulling you in, you know.
The brightness of the float homes themselves, and I really try to achieve that effect because there's a lot going on in the background too when you're down at Fisherman's Wharf. However, that I felt wasn't really important. It was just the homes themselves. So, and I also introduced a couple of birds. I thought that would just give it a little more life, as opposed to just having a static painting.
And I love this area in the reflection here. Like the quality in the water is just, it's beautiful. It's just, it's very serene, and it just pulls you into that whole space, the life on that part of the city. And this is another that's in that area.
Yes, this is, I don't even know if the larger home is still there, but these were two homes that were there a couple of years back. And I just really, really enjoyed this post box. I thought it was the wildest thing, yeah. Right here on his little case is where you put in the mail.
And his little case says mail.
Yeah, yeah,
really
I really enjoyed doing that piece.
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
there's a lot more realism in these pieces than you might see in some of the others.
It's so interesting that like some areas in California get known because of their seaside, you know, like Carmel, for instance. But there's Sausalito in California has like a whole colony, like on the docks. You know, like you can go down to the docks, and then there's a whole city, like, you know, a whole like subculture that inhabit that space. A lot of artisans, a lot of craftspeople, a lot of like interesting shops and little cafes, and so it creates a whole lifestyle. It's wonderful.
And that brought to mind when I was doing this particular painting, because coincidentally we were there in Sausalito only a matter of, I think, a couple of years back as well. Yeah, and we took a tour with a guide, one person, and just Marie and myself, and we really, really enjoyed ourselves. And then she gave us a lot of the history of some of the float homes, of the people that used to live in these homes, and some of the people that live in them now, and of course Otis Redding, who lived in that area, wrote Dock of the Bay there. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. But you know, this is our own little Sausalito here in Victoria. Yeah,
it's great.
I really enjoyed it.
Another area on the, I mean, we're branching off into travel plans here, is up in, is it Cowichan Bay?
Genoa Bay.
Genoa Bay and
Cowichan Bay. Yeah.
And there's some great little areas in there that, you know, also fall into this kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That's great.
Maple Bay, I believe, is the other one.
Yeah.
I don't know about Cowichan Bay, but Genoa Bay for sure.
They call it Cow Bay, the locals do. So in Cow Bay, there's a lot of like fish restaurants and like it has the feel that, you know, in another 10 years, it's going to kind of kick in.
Very West Coast, yeah.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your other style of painting.
Well, obviously these are a little less whimsical in quality, whereas you get something like this that's totally whimsical. I simply enjoy that whimsy simply because it gives the painting a lot of movement, as you can see, just simply the brush strokes. And I tend to use more of a dry brush painting approach as opposed to loading it with a lot of paint and then putting it down on the canvas.
It's not just the brush strokes, I'm sorry. It's this perspective of seeing both sides of the street simultaneously.
Oh, yeah, and notice the trees facing this way, and this way.
Right.
Yeah. And the same with these were evergreens.
You know, Buckminster Fuller said that the greatest flaw in modern man is that we fail to comprehend that the earth is round. And so you have the curvature of the earth in several of your paintings, which I think is
That's
brilliant.
one of my favorite techniques as well.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of curvature, especially just a semicircle or just a crescent shape on the top of the canvas. So similar to that as well, although it's a little less pronounced, but it's still there. And this is reminiscent of a scene. It's on the Adriatic, and the name of the town escapes me. But when I travel, I tend to take a lot of pictures, but I also do a bit of sketching. So that just gives me some ideas of the colors that I might be interested in using. So rather than doing painting right there, I mean, that's not feasible when you've got one suitcase. I usually don't do that.
Well, thank you so much, Edo. I love seeing all of your work. I love the Blue Orchard. You know, there's so many, whimsical, just really lovely qualities to your paintings.
Thank you.
And I really encourage everybody to come down to Eclectic Gallery and see Edo's work. And it's up through till mid-June.
Thank you.